Hello everybody, back at it again with more Tarkov, and today we are talking about the economy crisis sort of deal that's going on in this iteration of the wipe in Escape from Tarkov. And you know, when they said stocks really just go up, they meant Tarkov too. And why is this a big deal? Oh, because you know, I haven't played this week and I'm gonna make how much do you think? This is just 1 week's worth of Bitcoin. Actually, this isn't even a full week's worth of Bitcoin because I gave some away to a friend. And bam, $9 million. Yeah, you know, pretty easy. 9 mil, pretty easiest 9 mil I've ever made in Tarkov. Just like that. Just like that. And that's kind of the problem with EFT and the current state of Tarkov, and I'm sure Battlestate Games and Nikita are gonna totally fix this sometime soon. I don't know how soon, but not soon. Or is it soon and then not soon? I don't know. I don't know how it goes, but they're gonna fix it at some time. So with all that being said, let's get into it a little bit about how we can fix this crisis. Now, I don't think the Bitcoin farm is an awful thing. I actually really enjoy the Bitcoin farm because it's a way to have passive income. But in the current state of with how much Bitcoin's worth, it is a form of income and not a form of passive income. You make more money from your Bitcoin than you do in RAID. And if you want a lesson on inflation, folks, this is how you get it. Because, you know, when Bitcoin's high, everything on the flea market is going to be high, especially when you look at ammo. It is extremely high. I think like 995. Which, if I pull it up here quickly, is like 4,000 around, or it was at one point. And in previous wipes, I've seen it at 1,000, and very rarely it was like 1,600. Now we're looking at 3,400 around, so like 2 or 3 times the cost. And that's what happens. That's inflation, folks. That's what happens when everyone has money right now. So, and you're forced to play this price because, I mean, look, I have 16 million and I really have nothing to spend it on. And there are some ways to fix this, and I have some solutions, and I'm sure BSG has some solutions. But I know one of my favorite ones that I would like to see is like a weight room / training station. And I'll put a graphic on the screen to kind of like evidence my idea, or like relay my idea, but like treat it like the scav case. And say you want to train a skill, and I think I have recoil correction up. Each point, and when I say point, I mean like the little small points that you need 100 of them in a skill to get your next level after level 10. Like one of those little points costs like 70,000, and then all the way up for a full point, it would cost like 70 million or something. Just something that's not like every time you do a raid, you get so much points. Or every time you want to do this, you get so many points that like it's essentially pay to win with your money in Tarkov, but something that you could sink some money into, and it'll help you level up some of your skills, and it'll help with some of those tasks that are kind of annoying, like health level 10. You could put in like a couple million towards it and get a couple health points. I would really like to see that. That's not everyone's cup of tea, and I think you need to add a timer to it, just like the scav case or any other crafting thing, so you don't just like magically buy your way to level 50 endurance, even though that's the best skill. So I think that'd be a good money sink, and that's like the core problem with the economy is there's really only one money sink in the game, and that's fuel for your generator. Like that's really only like money sink, and that's even if you build out your base. Your kits are the only, or like the other thing that's like a money sink to an extent, but I don't really call it a money sink because you need kits in order to run raids at all. So it's a cost there already. So but with that being said, there isn't really much to like invest in Tarkov other than your base, and you don't even have to invest in your base to play the game. You do if you want to have the Bitcoin farm, and I suppose that's kind of the reason there is inflation, is that you invested in it. However, after you invested it, you're just sitting easy at 16 mil, and then every single day you play, you make $3 million. So you're making more money not in your raids than in your raids, and that's like the ultimate problem. So solve this money sink problem. So my training idea that I just elaborated on is a good one. However, with what BSG is currently working towards and having like traders in raid, that'll help because you won't be able to just buy everything right away. I'm thinking if you added a little bit more customization to the hideout, like more colors or whatever, like painting, you know, rearranging your TV and your radio, you can fill out, you can have like a full outside shooting range, something like that you have to build that costs a lot of money. That would be a new thing. I know they're saying they're going to increase the service cost for Ragman, so you could have more expensive clothing options, and if you have a ton of them, that would be a good one. Removing insurance. Now, I don't know how I feel about this one. However, it would make a little bit of sense if you removed insurance, because then you would have to pay more money for all of your kits because you wouldn't get it back. And I think that would be an incentivized too, or increasing the cost of insurance. I know they already did that, but I think that's another way you could do it, increase it even more. But that might just be because of Bitcoin's unreal standard, and I really do think it needs to be toned down. I know another fix they've talked about is actually, excuse me, while I click on the right item, actually, is putting a like health bar or a time on a graphics card. Say you can only use a graphics card for like 26 days or however long they want it to be. I think that'll be a problem, or a solution, excuse me, and have more economic events like the fuel shortage and all sorts of events like that. Have an ammo shortage with certain vendors, their supply chain got cut off. So Prapper for a day is like everything is 3 times cost. Granted, people might just use the flood mark, or they might just use the flea market and flood the flea market. But if say Prapper's all of his items were 3 times the cost and you had to use him, and that would also be a little bit more of a money sink. I think that will help. And the reason I'm talking about this, and the reason that like I think this is important, is because I understand Tarkov's just a beta, and I don't want to hear that argument that, well, it's just a beta, it'll learn. We have to be proactive about some of these things so that every single wipe from here on out doesn't have this problem. And so the beta will, only this iteration of the wipe in the beta will have this problem. Otherwise, everyone's just gonna rush the graphics cards and rush the Bitcoin farm, and everyone's just gonna live off Bitcoin, and you're gonna have everyone running level 6 armors and HKs and whatever is meta at the time. I think it's the Vector right now all the time, and then that kind of defeats the purpose of the Tarkov, and you never know what to expect in any given raid. You could have hatchlings, you could have snipers, or you could have Chad boys. And you know, once everyone has $100 million, because it's ridiculous, you're just going to see Chad boys. And then, I mean, if that's fun, play however you want to find, but I think that just removes some of the allure to Tarkov, as in you never know what you expect. But once you come to expect something in a raid, that's when Tarkov and the mid-white feels start to happen. When you go into raid expecting to just run into everyone who's super kitted, that's when, I know for me personally, but I think for a lot of other people, that's when the lure of Tarkov starts to fade. So let's work on some of these solutions, and I know there's a lot of them. If you have ideas for other solutions, please put them down in the comments below. It's one of these topics that I love brainstorming about, and like where the training aspect came into hands. Because I know other solutions are like, let's lock the flea market to level 40 so you can't make so much money, or lock the hideout to level 40. And personally, I don't like those changes. Even though they're solutions, I don't really like them. So tell me what you think should be some more money sinks, or what some money sinks you would like to see in Tarkov, and what are some of your solutions to the inflated economy that's in Tarkov. I'm not too worried about it. I just know it's a topic of discussion, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts because some of the training gets out there. So that's all I have for this Escape from Tarkov video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the content, please like and subscribe because it helps me out a great deal. And if you like anyone else's content, please like and subscribe to their content because I know it means a lot to them because it means a lot to me. But without further ado, most important thing I want you to do is have a great day.